never let go. So if I was to give this movie out of 5, I would give this a 4.2 out of 5. I really, really liked this movie. If you like horror, if you like the idea of suspense, and if you like the movies that make you think, what is really happening? Is Halle Berry's character Mama, I think she's called Mama or something, I didn't get her name, is she really hallucinating? Does she have mental issues? Or is it true that there are spirits out there? Now, the story is basic. This mother and 2 kids live in a cabin in the woods. Now, according to the mother, the world has ended and there are dark spirits out there. And so she has been telling this to her kids for a very, very long time. And if you need to go get food outside, if you need to go and scavenge outside for food, anything, you will need to tie a rope around yourself and go out there, look for whatever you are looking for, come back, and then after you untie yourself, get in the house, you actually have to pray to purge the evil spirits from the outsides. Now, everything just continues well until we learn that, winter is coming and things may get a bit thick. Now, this is a bit spoilerish, but it's a bit spoilerish, but I'm not going to give you everything. So, winter is coming, and the more scarce some things are becoming, the more creative that Mama has to become, and that now involves the family dog. And so she is of the idea that at one point it will be necessary for them to actually eat the dog. And so one kid doesn't like it. And so the kid, when the mother goes out to do whatever she's doing, does something that now leads to, I think, one of the most important parts about this movie. Halle Berry is great in this movie. She actually transforms into this person that we are supposed to either believe or not believe, because she's very suspicious in who she is, and you get a bit of background with these visions that she gets with possibly her parents and whatever affects her psychologically. We're given ideas because she has these visions of can I call them spirits, but we're not really quite sure whether it's actually really happening or this is her psychological states. Maybe she was traumatized and something stayed in her head. And now with these 2 kids, with Nolan and Samuel, you get kids who, one believes the mom and the other one is skeptical. The other one is like, I don't see whatever mom is saying. Anyway, things happen, and I was surprised by what they did with the character of Halle Berry at a certain point, because something happens. I won't going to spoil it for you. Something happens that forces the kids to be left alone. And these 2 actors are absolutely incredible. I thought their performances, because now they take a good chunk of what's supposed to be the most important part of a film. They take a good chunk of where now the drama is supposed to be, because we have 2 very young individuals put in a position whereby one believes and one doesn't believe. And there are some things that are introduced from the outside, and most of them, things happen to them because of one person who believes. And that idea of, anyway, do I spoil? No, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you just need to see it for yourself. It's a pretty interesting examination on beliefs, conditioning, and how it affects our kids. And so, at one point you think in a certain way until something that was hinted by the mom, when something else happens and they take a particular image, and you see something else. The movie now puts you in that, after the movie ends, it puts you in that position where you start questioning yourself, questioning what you believe, what you think actually you saw, versus that image that you see at the like end, where after something happens, there's something that has to be done, and one of the kids does something, and then you see a particular image and you go like, wait, so is it possible that it's real, whatever the mom was saying, or is it still just mental health? So this movie is great performances, great location, that's the other thing, and generally a very good story. I was really impressed by the 2 kids. I was really impressed by Halle Berry, because she sells this in one way you can look at her as a person who has been corrupted by her beliefs, and in another way you can see a person who's trying to protect her kids, and you are never quite sure about what's going on, because she does something out of the fear of going back and being something, and you start questioning some of her action, you start questioning her state of mind. So this is a movie that I will highly recommend. If there are some things that I do not like, it's that vagueness of what actually is happening, because it keeps you on the edge throughout. It's one of those movies that just keeps you on the edge and keeps you questioning. It reminds me of a movie, it was called The Village. Do you guys remember The Village? If you remember The Village, you've seen The Village, there are a few DNAs from those particular movies. But the heart of this movie is the performances of the three main characters, because we also see a few other characters later on, but just for a while, and the others we mostly see them in terms of visions. But these three main characters in that house setting, and how Halle Berry communicates with these three kids, they sell the idea of that particular family and the challenges that they have in terms of that individual look at what the mother is saying, you know. And the kids are supposed to be twins. They are actually twins, but they look at the situation totally differently. Yeah, so basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Give this movie a look if you come across it. Yeah, I really loved this movie. It's a psychological horror movie, and there's some disturbing imagery, but generally, yeah, it really challenges you. So that's it. Adios.